There once was a man with a ball. He stood 6 feet and 9 inches tall. You might know his name, it's
LeBron James.
But wait, that doesn't sound like him at all.
What's up, Doc?
Hey guys, James here again with another game review, and today I'm going to be talking about MultiVersus, the Warner Brothers based platform fighter featuring iconic characters such as Batman, Arya Stark, Shaggy, and whoever the heck this guy is. If I had compared this game to other games, the most obvious comparison would have to be Super Smash Bros. Based on how the gameplay feels, I'd say that MultiVersus more closely resembles Smash Brawl or Smash 4, although really, I think the best comparison might be the indie platform fighter Brawlhalla. MultiVersus is actually a ton of fun and a worthy addition to the genre, but is it actually worth spending money and time on? Find out now. So MultiVersus is a fighting game that belongs to the platform fighting genre. For anyone unfamiliar, these are games that follow the Super Smash mold where, rather than being about depleting someone's health, your attacks will give damage to enemies. The more damage someone has, the farther they'll fly when hit, so your goal is to knock your opponents out of the map by whatever means necessary. So, what separates MultiVersus from other platform fighters? Well, I guess first it would have to be the roster. WB has a ton of different IPs to pull from, including from DC, Cartoon Network, HBO, and whatever the heck this thing is from. This brings a ton of character and life to the game, and I think all around the character design is actually really great. You can definitely feel all the personality with the characters, and since they actually have voice lines and interactions, wow, it actually feels like a game where you fight as these characters. In general, I think each character's movesets are well designed and very fitting for each character. Every character has different regular attacks and special attacks, as well as aerial versions of these attacks. I also think that they did a pretty good job of getting a nice variety of moves and playstyles across the different characters. Something that also stood out to me was how most movesets feel very fluid, and this makes playing each character a very enjoyable experience. However, I do think maybe some sets can be a little bit similar, at least in terms of what each move tries to accomplish. They might have different timings and whatnot, and maybe this was intentional, but is it just me or does pretty much every character have a spike with their down aerial, for example? I also have to say that there are some characters and moves that seem quite silly and frustrating to face. Even though there are anti-spam measures in place, I can't help but be annoyed when facing opponents who just ignore the debuffs and spam the same moves over and over again. This can definitely make them easier to beat, but at the same time, it also means that you just need to make one mistake and you could very well be dead. For example, Superman just flying around and tossing people is incredibly annoying and can get you at low percentages. You'll run into Shaggies who only spam their side specials because that's apparently the only killing move they know how to use. And then, in my opinion, perhaps the most annoying character to play against would have to be the dreaded Rhine Dog. Not because he's particularly strong, but rather most people I face who actually play him seem to just run away from you all game and spam projectiles. Not exactly a fun playstyle. Overall though, I like the roster, and if the leaks and rumors are to be believed, the character list could be bananas. Some of the characters they've already brought out are maybe a bit questionable, but I really do look forward to who they can bring out. There's rumors of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and much more. I'm definitely hoping to see more representation from the old school WB Saturday morning cartoons. Please, just bring back my boy Omi. Then, in terms of gameplay, I describe MultiVersus as more floaty and slow-paced. Again, more similar to Smash Brawl or Brawlhalla. The game is definitely simplified in a lot of ways when compared to the classic Smash experience. For example, they decided not to include moves like back aerials, running moves, and the ability to shield, as well as some other techs. Even still, I don't doubt that high-level players have plenty of moves to whip out and are going to be wave dashing around like crazy. The game itself can actually feel pretty forgiving, as all characters are capable of doing multiple jumps, multiple air dodges, and even multiple up aerial moves in order to recover. Then there's also the fact that there's no ledge grabs in the game, and rather, all characters are actually able to latch onto the wall for a bit before trying to get back to the map. Because of this dynamic, I think two things happen. First, I think the aerial game becomes pretty massive, since there is just so much mobility while in the air, and then, as a result, I actually think this lets players take more risks and go for spikes and different moves that they might not usually go for. In a way, this helps to balance out the slower pace of the game a bit, as players can be more free to be more aggressive. While the fighting experience overall is definitely simplified, I do think some characters can be quite complex and have dimensions to them that even Smash characters don't really have. A big part of this would have to be the moves with cooldown. A number of characters have powerful special moves that have a cooldown associated with them. This makes it so that you can't just spam these moves. However, the weird thing I found is that not all characters have a replacement move when a move is on cooldown. So for example, Batman when he runs out of bat bombs just keeps remarking how
"That bomb's not ready yet."
While other characters like, say, Rick, have a pair of skis to use while his portal gun is charging. Just seems weird, I guess, that some characters don't seem to have this. While I do like the idea of these moves, I also think not being able to consistently use the moves that you want can be a little bit frustrating. Another major difference, and perhaps one that I should have mentioned earlier, is the fact that the game does seem to be mainly designed for 2v2. There's still a one-on-one mode and it's fine overall, but with some of the passives, perks, and different character abilities, it definitely does seem like the team experience was the main focus of the game. MultiVersus also doesn't use a traditional stock system. Instead, it follows a ring-out system where in one-on-one it's first to 2 kills, while in 2-on-2 it's first to 4 kills. I think this dynamic definitely changes the way the game feels, at least when it's coming down to the wire. It also helps to force the issue a bit more and makes players have to be more aggressive. It can definitely become pretty frantic as players chase each other around for the final kill. Overall though, I've definitely enjoyed the gameplay from MultiVersus. While it is definitely more noob friendly in my opinion, there are plenty of different moves you can pull off that are just so satisfying. It provides a more casual experience, but I think there's more to it than meets the eye. So now that we've discussed that, let's take a quick look at some of the non-combat mechanics. Before, you might recall I mentioned perks. Well, perks are a system that allow players to equip badges that provide passive bonuses to you and your team. Personally, I really don't like the perk system. You have to unlock badges by leveling up characters, and so naturally, when you're first starting out or trying new characters, you'll most likely be at a disadvantage for a while. I think the perks actually make a pretty big difference too, especially the signature perks that often completely change up a character's move. Unlocking non-standard perks costs currency too, which takes away from you being able to unlock more characters. In my opinion, this system makes the game slightly pay to win, although leveling up a character you like isn't too difficult overall. They also implemented some nice ways of balancing it out, such as being able to equip perks that your teammate has. Outside of all that, I do have to say though, the overall experience is actually quite solid. When you log on, the music and colors make it feel like you're going to a WB theme park. I think the yellow, blue, red color scheme for characters was really smart, where you're outlined in yellow, teammates in blue, and opponents in red. Definitely helps to alleviate confusion without creating the need for alternate costumes. I will say though, I think they definitely need more maps. The maps they have right now are okay, but there are 2 in particular I think that are just straight up bad times to play on. As for the online, I haven't had too many issues with the online experience, and I think it's easily better than Smash's online. Of course, you'll still get some laggy games here and there, but overall, I haven't had anything that makes me angry. Matchmaking can be a bit frustrating at times, especially when you keep getting stomped, but I guess that's just a natural part of the online multiplayer space. I also like how they show you your MMR with different characters, and I think other games should really consider doing this. I just think it's good to know how good you are and whether or not you're improving. I do think, however, that this number can seem a little bit weird, where characters I think I suck at have higher MMRs than some of my better characters. Maybe I'm not as bad as I thought. I just wish they would show you more stats in general. They'll show you your most recent games, but please, give us career stats. I want to know who I'm consistently good with. I also just think that the game would benefit a lot from additional offerings. I think some single player modes are a must for any game like this, although I don't know if they really plan on implementing anything like that. And I also think the custom game system could definitely be improved. Also, I'm not sure if they changed this yet, but they really don't let us do 3-player free-for-alls in custom games. That's just kinda dumb. So then, I think it's time to discuss. Is MultiVersus worth it? And in case you didn't know, MultiVersus is actually free to play with cross-play and cross-progression. If you like these types of games, chances are you already tried MultiVersus out. But if not, then yeah, I think MultiVersus is absolutely worth giving a shot. I think it's probably my favorite non-Smash platform fighter, and they really show how a good platform fighter can have a different identity, but still bring the same amount of fun. Perhaps my biggest issue with the game, though, would have to be the monetization. The game follows the League of Legends model where all characters are locked. There's a bi-weekly free rotation of characters that you can try out, but ultimately, you'll need to buy characters if you want to consistently use them. It's actually not crazy difficult earning currency to unlock characters, but as some of you probably know, I really don't like this style of monetization for competitive games in general. Although, I guess it does make more sense for a 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 based fighting game, rather than a 5-on-5 game. As a result, I think free-to-play is far more viable here than in other competitive games, as it's really not too difficult to unlock a couple of characters you like. It can just feel very restricting though, and I wonder if some players will get tired of the bi-weekly rotations. 2 weeks just seems quite long to me. Of course, the game has a battle pass which clocks in at a little less than $10. I did not buy this battle pass, but overall, it seems fine, I guess. Outside of that, there are different editions of the game you can buy which provide you with different benefits. Here's just a number to keep in mind as I go through. As of me writing this video, there are currently 21 characters in the game. At $40, you can get the standard edition, which gives you 15 character tickets and 300 in-game currency. Each character ticket allows you to instantly unlock a character in the game. At $60, you get the deluxe edition, which comes with 20 character tickets, the battle pass, and 1,000 currency, enough to get you another battle pass. Then finally, at $100, you get the premium edition, which has 30 character tickets, 3 battle passes, 2,500 in currency, as well as some other goodies. Personally, I really hate this model. If I'm really going to pay $40 to $60 for a game, I kind of expect to get most characters as part of that. 20 tickets for the deluxe edition doesn't even completely unlock the current roster, and considering the fact that they'll likely be adding a lot more, I think you'll need to be a lot smarter than I was with my character tickets. Obviously, their goal is to try to make the $100 option as appealing as possible, as it clearly has the best amount of content, but to me, the $60 option seems like the best bang for your buck. This is especially true since I think the $40 option is quite lacking, and I don't think most players are willing to bang out a Benjamin for a game and not unlock everything. I got the $40 pack thinking I'd be able to upgrade it, but I regretted it when I found out that, hey, you actually can't do that. WB, please, just take my money, let me upgrade. I think how much you want to spend ultimately comes down to you and how many characters you want, but a big thing for me was being able to try out and play multiple characters, hence why I didn't have an issue spending the money. Overall, I'm giving MultiVersus a 3.5 out of 4. I think it's a great all-around experience, and although there are areas for improvement and I really hate the monetization, the fact that it's free to play makes it hard for me not to recommend. Definitely give it a look if you want a change of pace from Smash, or are new to the platform fighting genre in general. But hey, that's just me. Let me know down below what you think. Have you tried out MultiVersus? And of course, thank you so much if you made it this far. If you had a good time, please consider clicking some of those buttons. And as usual, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.